Hi, welcome. On this video, I like to discuss the issue of success as it relates to integrity of the method. And again, this comes from a situation I'm currently involved with, involving a very aggressive shepherd. Gained a lot of control in the relationship. Is about 2 years of age right now, and focusing in on helping one of the family members, one of the owners, begin to begin to think different, begin to gain some momentum by way of how they're interacting with this dog in a way that builds their confidence. And so the thing to really consider when you're dealing with helping people change, and this is where when you deal with situations where, say, the owner is very emotionally invested. Again, this is why it is that dogs can gain control in the first place. But when you begin to kind of, uh, you know, intersect that type of thinking, when you begin to, help people change, what you need to really focus on is building their confidence through, really shining the spotlight on a successful moment. And that moment came in this situation. And again, I talked about the integrity, of the method from the starting point, from the crate, just where it's not about distance, it's about, making sure things are coming together properly in a way that allows the person to really develop, their skill set with how they're interacting, and just really taking their time in a very intentional way. And in this situation, it's the same thing. What I'm doing here is dealing with a family of four individuals, and even what I'm doing is a type of a mirroring process where I'm lining people up, kind of like strength and weakness. So it's how I'm dealing with this is a more of a confident, assertive individual with somebody who has more emotion. How this situation is developed is it's a male and female type of a mirroring process. So by here engaging the process in terms of getting people to step in. Even here, I'm actually manipulating control, where I can't even, based on how I think, I cannot step into that role directly that way. So what I'm doing is I'm manipulating control by, even lining this up with the issue about strength and weakness, mirroring it up through male and female. But in terms of helping one of the females gain some traction and having a really good kind of successful moment and really feeling good about that and really highlighting, spotlighting that moment, it comes through how you're doing it in terms of where your stopping point is. And when I say stopping point, here in this situation, she's having a really difficult time with getting the dog to come into agreement with the down position, or interaction is the best way to look at it, and everything else. And even how she described how dogs seem more agreeable at a certain point, it's like, even looking at the agreeable part, it's like, well, based on what? It's based on dog gaining more control. But so the focus here is on the integrity. So here in the moment that really I focused in on with helping her, is when she's beginning to interact with the dog in a very specific way, coming out of the crate, is even helping with the down position. This is kind of a little bit of kind of a gold nugget you can take away from this video to help in terms of this is where kinetics come online, and even with creating the type of dynamic where it's all about just about the technique, rather than unraveling and letting your emotions kind of get away from you. Because again, when you're asserting influence through the down position, what can happen is this is happening to her, when you begin to push and trying to put some physical force into it to get the dog to come into agreement, trying to maintain that level, you can wear yourself out, because you're trying to use your muscles to do it, to kind of try to bear down on the dog. And what you want to do, and this is where I helped with her, is kinetically you want to lock your shoulder in place and lean into it. Just kind of tilt your body over a little bit, lean on the dog. Therefore, you're not expelling any energy. It's just kinetics, and what it does, it allows you to kind of engage differently. So you're kind of clearing your mind out. You're not emotionally invested that way. It's not personal. Because here's the thing: once it gets personal, it becomes emotional, and that can turn into weakness. Okay, the dog will actually gain fulfillment from that. Okay, but by making it kind of impersonal and indifferent through the technique of just locking your shoulder in and leaning in, then it becomes just about collapsing the dog's mind. Okay, about dropping dominoes. And so when I was coaching her from a distance, as she came out and from the crate and began to enter into usually a problematic interaction with the down position, when I was coaching her and getting her to adjust her method, the dog accepted it. It was a great a couple of really fantastic moments, and you could tell from looking at her, she felt really, really good about it. The dog, the shepherd, went into the down twice, and the integrity, everything was coming together. Very successful, because she had a really kind of a bummer week, okay, with really frustrating as she was trying to really get this to happen. And then I was there, and it happened twice because, again, changing the technique around. This is where, again, it's very helpful to, when I'm there and seeing things in action. It's so helpful because I can make those adjustments, because it's always about, having a kind of outsider view of being able to see someone's body position, and I can even tell by how they're looking, how they're thinking, and getting them to really kind of think different and interact different. But the point of the video is to say that when she had those two successful moments, I stopped there. I had her husband take over from that point of taking the dog from that point, and and bringing the dog back into the crate, again, through really good integrity. But by doing that, by just stopping it there for her, and kind of I didn't even remove her from the equation. I had her just follow right beside, because creating even with mirroring it up that way, with creating that association as the other person's doing it, you're having them still continue, even though they're not physically engaged directly. They're still engaged through at an association level. But for me, being able to really spotlight that, and then after talking through that and just really encouraging the person and building them up, saying, "Great job, that was fantastic," and you can just see her light up like a Christmas tree. She was so you really built her confidence up to know that she could do it, and just in that moment. So really, it's important to understand is to spotlight a moment, to have people understand that what matters, and that they can do it. And but once that success happens, is not to be pushing forward too far if you can help it, to get them to really lean on that success to help encourage it. And what I told her was, when you do it again, then just take one extra step and then stop there, turn around, dog goes back in the crate. So it's not about distance, it's about integrity of the method. It's about really highlighting success in terms of how these interactions are defined, their intent of what you're doing, and really using that to gain traction, to gain momentum, to continue the journey in a very methodical, intentional way. And people can make incredible gains that way, even if they feel totally discouraged. Is just really, that's the key, is to really focus on just slowing it down, bringing the methodology together so that they can achieve a level of success in a certain moment, and then really highlighting that to, again, to move them further forward. So thanks for watching.